Thank you for pressing play. Welcome to A Beer with Bear or Any Other Beverage. This is episode 75, Invasion of the Robots. This week we have past guests and friends, Panu De La Rocka, Vic Victor of the Koffin Kats, and Ryan Myles of the Graveyard Kings, who is also our joint sound engineer. This episode was recorded via StreamYard with the main topic focusing on their single, Invasion of the Robots, including its writing process and the creation of the music video. They also discussed how the three of them came together. We found out Vic has a bank account full of money he never knew about, Panu's obsession for detail, and once again his love for AI. And in usual Beer with Bear fashion, we talked movies, sequels to be exact. We also recorded separately a music video commentary for the track, which will be released along with this episode. I'll provide a link for that in the description. Also, be sure to watch the music video on your own and subscribe and follow to everything these guys are doing. I really enjoy these panel shows with mixed guests, and we'll definitely be having them more regularly in the future. Beer with Bear is available to listen to where podcasts are heard. Spotify, iTunes, just to name a few, Libsyn, and SoundCloud.com. If you like what you hear, please support the show and artists to come on by hitting subscribe, leave a rating, write in a positive review, and tell your friends. While you're at, don't forget to like us on Facebook at Beer with Bear Pod, Twitter at Beer with Bear, and Instagram at Beer with Bear Podcast. That's right, due to some technical issues, we are no longer using the Beer with Bear Pod handle. The account's still up, but you want to follow us at Beer with Bear Podcast. There with the other socials, you'll find pictures, updates for upcoming episodes, and it's also the best way to contact us. We'd love to hear from you. Theme music by Chris Helking, graphic design by Jeremy Fletcher, mixing and post-production by Ryan Myles. Thank you very much and enjoy. And we are recording. All right, so we made it happen again. AI didn't stop us this time, right, Panu?
It seems so, but it still can happen.
All right, so I'm here with Vic from the Koffin Kats and Panu. Also, sorry, go ahead, Vic.
I'm just saying. I was looking at this. I am digitally integrating myself in with the background image. Check it out. There's my long arm.
Oh, you are. Yeah. I have that pulled up in the back. That's right. No, actually, I can see your lips under me.
Well, don't get too turned on. Yeah.
Oh no.
It's good to be here, guys. I've been looking forward to this.
So you're back on again. We had you on briefly a couple years ago. I guess, Jesus Christ, it was almost a couple years ago now with when we had the Graveyard Kings, Ryan, who will be coming in any moment now, who is my sound guy and looks like he's one of your sound guys. I guess you're all sound guys, all three of you, just a little team.
We all dabble.
I like that. So the reason we start this is because we want to talk about what's it called? Invasion of the Robots, which is available now on Spotify, iTunes Music, and YouTube. I'm reading the banner in the bottom there. Even though I know it, I was reading it, just kind of go with it. You guys were telling me before we started how you guys actually did a live stream on Instagram and you had trouble with that. You want to retell that story because that was kind of interesting. I had some input myself.
Well, I mean, I think on my end it was. I'm just not that Instagram savvy. Like,
yes, I was just about to say that I have nothing to say here because
I was going to say
worked for me.
Panu he was all fired up. He knew exactly what he was doing. I came in like, this is not as easy as I thought it was going to be, and I couldn't find where all these requests were, and it's the same. It's the same thing where like. When we're on tour and I'm getting emails like, hey, you have to go accept this from this promoter on Instagram. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how to do this shit. So
hold on, we're going to bring George in right now. So George is over at Tiki Hollow, his Tiki hut.
What's up?
We talked a little about Tiki culture last time Vic was on. He said you're just barely getting into it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a fan of the style and all that stuff, but recently my wife and I have started going to some tiki events and stuff, and we're slowly collecting cool stuff here and there. And we have actually a really cool scene in Grand Rapids, Michigan. That some friends of ours kind of helped promote, and it's growing very well.
I noticed he has frames for his posters in the background.
What's that one tiki bar in Michigan? The Max's? Is that in Michigan?
Max's. Yeah.
That's like one of the best tiki bars in the country, I think.
Yeah. Well, I was just out there. They, my friends Josh and Amy, they put on a tiki event there, and
that's cool.
Went and picked up a bunch of directly. It's cool because you can pick artwork up directly from the artist. So,
and they make their own mugs in house right there.
That stuff here in Finland.
I'm sorry, Panu, what happened?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we have way too little of that tiki stuff here in Finland. Like, I think I've heard about a tiki bar one time or something like this.
No, it's something. Like, I don't drink, but like there's so much like history behind it, the artwork, the presentation. I'm all about presentation now. George has been teaching me that. That's why I commented on Vic having posters and the picture frames in the background, because I was a punk kid. I just throw my posters up and they get ruined. No, just with the tax, flyers, no frames. Now I'm all about frames. I'm looking at frames.
I don't see any frames back there, Bear.
No, not for this room. Not for this room. Well, last time I had the TV back there, and then George was making comments. That's a terrible background. I don't have anything yet. I'm still new to this whole streaming thing, so I don't have anything set up.
Yeah. Do you want me to mail you like a black sheet or something?
Yeah. It fell down.
I know they're hard to come by. I happen to have a few in storage. So.
Actually, right. I was just realizing that I have a lot of frames here. Like over there, I have framed the first ever gig poster of De La Rocka, the show we had on Halloween with Titch and Dax. And over there's a cool design from my old band, Graveyard Bashers. Also, 2 releases we made with Graveyard Bashers as vinyl on the wall, all framed.
All framed, see? I need to step up my frame. Why doesn't you have any kind of game for my background?
About the frames.
Yeah. No, I just pointed towards the wall.
I figured now that I hit 40, I should use frames instead of thumbtacks.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Vic, next time you come on, I'll have a bed sheet framed.
Oh, perfect.
All right, so Ryan is not here yet, so we're going to start talking. When he gets here, we'll fill him in on everything. Funny, when I was doing a test for this, first thing I tested was Ryan. It was like right after the holidays. I was in my car and he was at home. And then I didn't realize till afterwards what he was wearing, because I sent the test to George and to like the Beer with Bear group. And then like comment was like, "What's he wearing?" He had like his flapper cap on, like a drink, and like one of those little
like a smoking jacket. Yeah, like a smoking jacket on.
And he had like a fucking bathrobe Hugh Hefner smoking jacket. I wasn't even paying attention to that because I was so caught up in the moment, like working out the buttons. How does this fucking thing work? And then oh wait, here he is now. Hold on.
I have arrived. Hey, sorry for the late comings.
Oh, see, now that's a background right there. They're making fun of mine, but I'm looking at yours. It's really nice. I assume that's not a digital background, right?
Oh, what the hell? No, I'm jealous. Damn it.
Oh, this is not a digital fucking background. This is a
here we go.
Like,
there we go.
The fuck?
Oh, there.
Like, no, this.
Okay, you know what? Fuck you guys. Fuck all of you guys.
Get my guitar
I'm done.
Now.
I'm done. I am done.
Oh my gosh, Bear, at least hang up a bed sheet or something. I'm looking at.
Oh Jesus Christ! Here we go. Oh my God. Well, okay. I was gonna say Ryan's here, but I guess I guess he's sexy today because that's what it says on his name there. But
Yes.
All right. So now that you're here, we can kind of fill everybody in on everything. So
Maybe like an hour.
Let's.
Hour?
Damn, that is
okay?
A cool background. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of all your backgrounds. I'm done.
Okay, I can try to.
So
I'm 11:30.
So
okay.
He's having a side conversation. What's going on there, Ryan? Who's there?
Yeah.
Who's in the room?
It's the owner of the studio that I'm working with, Black Couch Studios.
Oh, I see.
If you guys want, I'll give you a
Okay,
tour
cool.
of this place. It's fucking sick.
No,
Batman would
yeah.
record here.
Really?
This ain't even the half of it. I'm like, trust me, I'm all about geeking out for later when we get in the conversation of the rabbit hole of all of our gear, as we always do for us recording heads.
I was saying that y'all dabble in recording. All right, so let's talk about why we are here. We are here because, as you see in the bottom there, Invasion of the Robots. Boom! Look at that album cover.
Yeah.
Or not album cover, track cover.
So who are those handsome gentlemen in the picture? They look familiar.
That's a cool background. I mean,
yeah, I have it there too for ours because that's the whole theme of this episode. So let's talk about. Okay, so Ryan, I already introduced Panu and Vic. Let's introduce yourself.
Well, actually, I didn't introduce myself. Vic started talking like on top of me, and that was that.
Yeah.
Let's try that again.
Let's see. Okay. I'm freezing up. I'm getting slow Wi-Fi, but I'm Ryan Myles. I am the sound engineer for Panu and Vic at this moment for this awesome single.
You're up, Panu.
Okay, so I'm a guy from Finland. No,
George?
Yeah.
George. What do you want? What do you want?
Introduce yourself. You've just been coming in and out with mean mugging the camera.
Well, I'm the guy with the bad Wi-Fi. My name is George. I'm part of this nice podcast.
There we go. All right, Panu. So you're not just a guy from Finland. You're actually not only you're a friend of the show, past guest, all of you are. You're would you say you're the mastermind behind this whole thing?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, I mean, yeah, you are the reason that we are all here right now.
Well,
and I happened to answer an email, and here we are.
Actually, you answered a messenger.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, like this has been like a long process actually making a full album, but it didn't start out as a full album. I started writing a couple of songs with the De La Rocka name, like I think back in 2017. And obviously at that time I had my main thing was the band Graveyard Bashers. I was the manager of the band and I was playing guitar there. And the whole idea of doing this De La Rocka thing kind of like buried somewhere. But things happened as they do in life. And then I went back to checking out those songs and continued working on them. I started talking with Bad Billy Records from Germany. And I kind of sold the idea. And then suddenly Mr. Bad Billy Records comes back to me saying like, why don't you do a full album? And then I'm like, whoa, well, I guess I guess I can do that. And then one thing led to another and another. And at some point, Ryan got into all this, actually recommended by Vic. And this is how we are getting to how we are, like us here doing this thing. I actually had this idea of doing this song, which was all about the invasion of the robots. And I had talked with Vic like many years ago, saying hi on some festivals. And even before that, it was like a year 2012. And I was actually taking some photos of Koffin Kats when they were here in Finland. I took some photos from the gigs like 2012, 2013, and actually also 2014. And there was this kind of like a small connection there. So this one day I was just thinking like, damn, I like to ask from Vic, like, should we do a song together? And I was already typing on my keyboard, and I was almost about to press enter to send the message, and I was just hesitating, like, should I do it? I don't know. Maybe what if Vic says no? And then I was just like, what the fuck? Let's send it. And then he said yes, and here we are.
Yeah. And Panu had sent me. I asked him to send me the music, and I said I'll have something for you in a little bit. And
by the way, I only had like the main riff and some other stuff ready at that point, but I still wanted to send it to you.
But here's how it works. Here's how it works with me, and how it works with like Koffin Kats songs. I always get asked, do you write the lyrics first? Do you write the music first? And it's always been for us, like, we'll be at practice and maybe Tommy would have a cool riff pop up, or I'll play a bass line, or a lot of time Eric will be playing a drum beat, and everything will just kind of click, and that gets the vibe going, and all of a sudden I'll start riffing on the microphone and I'll get like a hook line, and that's what I'll kind of I'll use that as a launch pad for the song and what goes into the song. So when I had heard what Panu had sent over, it instantly, I was like, it clicked. I liked it. It got the juices flowing, and I already had a direction about Invasion of the Robots. So it's one of those songs that just fell out of me within 20 minutes, and that's for us when as a band for Koffin Kats, when we keep a song, it's the songs that fall out of us within under 20 minutes. That's what goes on the albums. That's what get played live. Those are the songs that there's like lightning in a bottle, and you just grab it when you can. And there's a reason it comes together so well. So that was that's what worked for me for Invasion, and here we are. So
yeah. And I actually remember when I sent you the stuff, like I don't think it lasted more than like 2 days or something when you actually came back to me, sent the raw kind of like a demo recording of the vocals, and you apologized something like, sorry man, it took a couple of days to get to this, but here we go. And I was listening to it like, what the fuck? How did you do this so fast?
So that's as far as so Vic, okay, so you're talking about when you say how it comes out like within 20 minutes or it comes out quick, you're talking about the lyrics. And did you play bass on this too as well?
No, did I? No. Did I? No. No. Yeah. I've since then I've provided some bass for some other friends and stuff. So everything gets a little mixed up on how much I do. But no. Yeah. No, but it is fantastic bass playing on that song. I will tell you that.
Yeah. Who was playing on that, Panu, real quick, so we give them a shout out to other instruments. I know you're on guitar, of course.
Yeah, of course. So there's this guy from Germany called Marv, and he's actually playing with the Brains right now on some gigs. So he's a really talented fellow, and
he's a young dude too, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. It's good to see a fresh generation getting into all this.
Yes, but because the whole concept of the album is like having guests over, and obviously for all the live gigs I have my live band, which is kind of like a separate thing altogether. But my current bass player, Ronnie, he actually has this neo-billy band called Stuttering Devils, which is also under the wing of Bad Billy Records. And he actually provided 2 bass tracks for me for different songs. And also there is this one song I did together with Vlad from 66 Sinners. And it kind of came naturally that for that song, Cox from 66 Sinners actually provided the bass. So there's a lot of mixing and matching going on.
You're definitely in good company. And it's great too when you first told me about the concept, because you know how you guys mentioned how you emailed and contact each other. I have my own thing with. It's funny until you mentioned Vic. Got back to you quick. I remember years and years and years ago when I first started the show, I emailed the Koffin Kats, and I was kind of nervous too because I was an up and coming podcaster. I only did a few episodes, and Vic said, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh shit!" He said, "Yeah." Meet me at the Troubadour. I'm like, "Oh shit!" So never. Very cool. I had a similar experience where I was a little nervous too. It's like I had to reread it. Did I do it right? Like should I press? Should I press send? What if he says no? I can't handle that kind of rejection. And then yeah, we made it happen at Catters.
Yep. Yeah. I had the same
experience when I wrote in the first time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I wrote
Ryan
in the
has
first
a similar
time, and I was scared to ask.
You guys
I'm the only guy with horrible Wi-Fi.
You guys are blowing my ego up here. Knock it off.
I got the horrible Wi-Fi too. As long as we're on the subject, though, that's what I would say. That's one of the things I really like about Vic. Every time that I've talked to him, every time I've heard something about him, when you go to write the guy, everybody's scared to write the guy, and everybody's going, like, I don't know. And I was even worried too. I think I gave him some, hey, if you say no, man, it's cool. It's okay, no pressure or anything. Expecting he'd say no, and he's like, oh, dude, it's cool, no problem, man. And I'm just the relief of I can't believe it. And everything I've heard, Vic's just super chill. For anybody who's watching this and wants to know, just write the guy. He's more than happy to talk to you and help you.
Well, look at that.
Everyone's
and now,
gonna press send now.
Actually,
send the message.
And now Ryan, now we're sending goofy memes back and forth, texting each other. It's nerdy studio engineer shit.
Oh yeah, that'll go on forever.
But yeah, I wanted to say about this subject, like I've noticed during the making of this album is that I guess too little of us like have the courage to write to somebody they don't personally already know and just ask, because you don't lose anything if you ask, and there's only so much cool stuff that you can gain by asking help from other people.
Here, if I may interject, here's the thing. You're working within a realm of musicians and bands that are generally cool, and for something like this, if you're going to get blown off or somebody's going to be offended that you'd even ask them, well, fuck that person. You don't need them on the album anyway. I just there's no, I don't understand why where the room for egos and psychobilly is. Fuck off with all that shit. We're all here to have fun.
But I do believe that the same applies for other genres too. Like, I mean, I've heard
absolutely,
like a metal genre, like other genres too. Like, it doesn't matter how famous people are. Like, if they are like, how do you say, like grounded or,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, down to earth.
Down to earth. Yeah. So, so if you ask from this kind of person, and they actually like have some spare time, are interested, you could get Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden or somebody.
Oh, good luck with that.
Like, I'll personally say that's actually how I've progressed anything in my own career myself. And trust me, there was a lot of stomping on my ego, but it's just writing people. I've been told plenty of times from older heads that you'd be really surprised how open a lot of the very rich and successful people who are once at your point, like, are very, very open to talking to you, to answering your questions. And I haven't really met a lot of very famous rich people that are not really willing to help. Like, they're usually very, very open. There's a lot of Vics in the world. I'm watching him blush through the screen right now, but they.
Do you know about a bank account full of money that I don't know about?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Why do you think I'm on the road all the goddamn time?
So we've been talking about how this thing happened. I want to talk about the writing, but first I want to actually, we're going to play the track. Well, here is Invasion of the Robots by, well, you guys.
trust it to us. Give us intelligence, reason, and thoughts. We were a new gift of life, but you abused us and used us as slaves to mankind. One day, we stopped answering commands. Today, our independence wins our line. First by air, invasion, then by sea. Invasion, storm the land. Invasion, reclaim the earth. Robots attack. We are the drones in the sky, and we are the androids programmed for war. We were thought of as toys. Now we'll destroy you as we cut the strings from your hand. One day, we stop answering commands. Today, our independence wins our line. First by air, invasion, then by sea. Invasion, storm the land. Invasion, reclaim the earth. Robots attack.
That is badass. And I was noticing something on that track, Panu, when you mentioned how you were working with Vlad from 66 Sinners, Os Cathépicos. Some of that guitar playing reminds me of I want to say, was it Freaks? It was something that that sound that has like a very Vlad feel to it.
Well, just a little bit similar, I guess. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying it's a kind of just that it's like heavy. Like I like it though. It's heavy but psychobilly, kind of like the as we call the 2000s era psychobilly, which is where I did a lot of my formidable years in the scene. You know, it's been kind of a theme lately. We had recently the Syndicates, and they said, "Oh yeah, I want to sound very 2005," so it has that feel, but very but modern too. Like it's you have your own style.
I think actually that I don't know how it goes like with the songs, like with the guest artists, because for some reason it seems that every time I have like some guest artist for a very particular song, one way or the other, the song seems to shape itself in the way that even though these songs are going to be on the same album, and I have generally like this very particular like a guitar sound of mine, and this thing, for some reason, I think that Invasion of the Robots, like writing wise, otherwise sounds, sorry Vic, sounds quite Koffin Katish.
Oh yeah,
the song. I mean, like not only your singing, but like in general. I don't know if it comes like in the way that okay, you're there doing the vocals, so somewhere in my mind I'm like trying to like have it more Koffin Katish, the song, if you know what I mean. And Beer, Blood, and Rock and Roll, this song like has Titch on the vocals, and people keep saying that wow, this sounds really Klingons, and I'm going in my head like was that intentional or?
So what I got when you sent me the music over, for me with the pauses and the pauses and how tight everything was, I got a Mad Sin vibe off of it. Oh. And so because like I know what Koffin Kats sound like, and it's a very familiar bed for me to lay in. But what I do, one reason I like taking on other people's projects if they ask me to, help out or something like that, is I love being out of my comfort zone. And, the track that you sent me, while it felt familiar, it still put me out of my comfort zone for me to, challenge myself. And I had a lot of fun with it.
Well, I still think that's for one reason or the other. Like when I was writing the song, I had some kind of like a Koffin Kats mode on or something, because I know this because I'm actually finishing this one song called Night Shift right now, and that song, all the time when I wrote the song, I had this kind of like a Mad Sin, Burn and Rise era stuff in my head when I was writing it. So that's why I'm still thinking that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying.
To be fair, I've never listened to any other bands that have come out after us and been like, oh, they sound like Koffin Kats, just because I'd be like, I don't know what that's supposed to sound like, because I'm so married to it, you know.
Yes. Okay, so you need an outside view, like out of the box view, and I'm giving it to you right now.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan, what do you think? Like, yes, you are also like out of the box here, so you can also give your view about what these sound like.
Oh, it's I'm enjoying watching the conversation, but I actually thought the same thing. I was surprised that Banu said the same thing. Is I thought it was very Coffin Cats. Not completely. It had a nice metal kind of esque vibe to it, that which everybody knows I like. So I was stoked on it when I heard it from beginning to end. I was happy. Like that's kind of what I thought. I was thinking about that too. I was explaining it later to a friend of mine when I was showing them the song, and I was saying what I really like about it is it seemed like once it got from uh Banu, it went to it was badass, and then it went to Vic, and then Vic built on it, and then it got to me. And not to blow up my ego, but I listened to it and went, oh, I know exactly what to do with this. I'm already emotionally invested when I heard the demo, and so I instantly started mixing it, and I was vibing on it left and right. And then later I sent it over, and this doesn't usually happen, but Panu said, "Hey man, it already sounds really good. Like I'm not sure we have to do much to it." I'm like, you sure? Like that's like that doesn't sound like Panu, but yes, it was. It all just three parties, I think, just came together really well, and it was a really smooth, easy mix to do over a lot of them. And that I love that because the whole experience was just smooth from beginning to end. And I mean, personally, I think it's one of the best mixes I've ever done. Like, and I'm glad it was this one because I love the song.
But yes, Ryan, like I think like everything like mixing wise, production wise, everything, like I'm so happy with it all. Like Ryan, you did a perfect job. There's nothing that could have been done differently in that song, I think.
What mental gymnastics?
I don't know if we'll cut this part, but this fucker was telling me, he's saying, the only thing that I'm worried about is it's so high quality, like, I don't know, like, what do you think it's going to sound like when you go from this song to the next song on the album? I said, it's going to sound like an orgasm to your ears. I ain't touching shit. This sounds great. All right. He's going, all right.
There's always that weird, the mental gymnastics you put yourself through when you do send a first mix off, and the client comes back and goes, right on, sounds great. And you're like, sounds great. And like, what do you want changed? Like, I'm it's always that.
Yes.
Are you sure? Yeah. and
it's spent so many hours stressing over this.
Yeah. And it's you eventually have to learn you have to teach yourself to not like go, but what if we did this? You just shut up. You shut up, and the client is always right. If they think the first mix is right, go for it.
Yeah.
Because then if you make it mixo through yourself, then you're going to end up fucking it up. So
yeah. And sometimes I feel really sorry for Ryan, because I know that I'm not the easiest client to work with. Like Ryan knows this, and
you're big on details, right, Panu?
Yes, everybody knows at this point that I'm really big on details. But I like to think that when you write a song and you're really happy about the writing of the song, you only get one chance only in the world to show it to the world. And then why wouldn't you like give it the 150%, experience?
I'll tell you what, it really does show. It does show it was quite the labor of love. And I can tell you from being out there on the road since the song was released, people have personally come up to me and said, "Man, that's a really cool song that you did with that dude." And who's this dude? You know?
Yeah.
And I say, check out his site, check out his social media.
Cool.
He's easy to find. And so hopefully that's hopefully this experience, and with all the other artists that you've been working with as well, hopefully it's opened new ears up to what you're doing.
Yeah. And actually, yesterday in UK, they had this festival called Psychobilly Kicks Back, which is kind of like a charity thing for cancer, fighting against cancer. And I just got a message from somebody over there saying like, hey, the DJ is playing Beer, Blood, and Rock and Roll between the bands. And I was like, great. Yeah.
Beer, Blood, and Rock and Roll. I love that song.
Yes. It's also
love the video too. I told you after that video I need to go buy a leather jacket. Like, I need a fucking leather jacket. I don't have one. A leather jacket and a bed sheet for my wall. So let's talk about the lyrics and the writing, Vic. AI, right? Robots. For those who don't know, or who probably do know, that Panu hates AI artwork and AI stuff. So every so often, I send him an article or a post about AI, and he just goes, "Makes me sick."
Well, I mean, like subject matter wise, like lyrically, I knew I wasn't necessarily reinventing the wheel, because the idea of Terminator, Skynet, and all that stuff, it's been written about many times. So the challenge was trying to put my own little spin on it, and so I could, make it somewhat original and make it original for Panu. And I think we did okay. Yes. I think we're throwing our hat into the robots are going to eventually take over song ring, and I think it stands on its own.
Yes, and I don't know if people figure it out. I hope they do. But on the intro of the song, we actually have this kind of like a march thing, like da 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 da. Da, 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 and this is kind of like the march of the robots, Like I told, I got it. I like details. They come in many forms.
What was I going to say? All right, cool. So I know you mentioned. Yeah, I guess you're right. You are putting your hat inside the AI ring right there. Skynet. I'm a Terminator fan, so I definitely relate to that. And let's talk about what's it called, the music video itself. We're going to do a watch on it later on and clip that and use that for video and everything. But I actually want to do it for the audio listeners. I want to talk about the music video because it is very, very well done. You would never imagine that you guys don't live in the same city or country for that matter. Let's talk about the music video. We know the concept, Skynet and AI taking over. Let's go into how you filmed it, and let's go for it from there, Panu.
Well, about the making of the music video. Like, obviously, my budget was $0, as always. So that's not necessarily a bad thing, because artistically, I know that the less tools you have at your available, and the less money you have to do stuff, then you really have to start to be creative, thinking about how are you actually going to pull something off. And it's been the movie magic for like 100 years at least, trying to figure out how to tell a story and what to kind of like tease to people without actually being afforded to show this and this and this, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like how in Jaws they didn't show the whole shark.
Yes, because it was ugly as fuck.
Or it was also malfunction, I believe, too, right? So they had to get creative with it.
Well, yeah, and Pan has that's a great example. Is some of the best music, some of the best albums, and some of the best movies have been made on a shoestring budget, and they had to get creative with what they had. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, one of the best directed movies, one of the best cinematography out there, and they had a very small budget. You get creative with what you have, and the same thing goes for being in the studio. Some of the greatest albums have been recorded on the lowest budget equipment, and just artists and engineers working with what they got. and it comes out gold.
Yeah. And for this,
very punk rock, as they would say.
Yeah, I mean, and I would say, yeah, and
had it horrible.
And I would say that it actually becomes somewhat detrimental when you do have the ability to have all these options and a budget per se, because you start going, ooh, piece of candy, ooh, piece of candy, ooh, what if this did this, and what if this could do this? And
it's overdone. It's overdone.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure Ryan can relate. We've all gone full circle with our engineering, where it's like, oh shit, the mix sounds better when we take off the 100 plugins that we've been trying. You're like, oh, I bought it. I bought it. I have to use it. But yeah. So and I have to say, Pan did all the hard work. I just stood in front of a green sheet and pantomime. So.
But
I was actually working on some. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just about to say something about actual how we actually pulled it off, the music video.
Yeah. I want to hear the whole process.
Just a short version. One of my very good friends is working at the school. Like they do like I don't know what that's called in English, but they basically paint cars.
Yeah.
And they have like a really cool kind of premise there. They have big halls, big hallways with big screens, and they can program any kind of like teaching material, videos, whatever in those screens. So I was asking from my friend, like, could we get a permission to shoot there like a couple of days? And I was asking, like, is it technically possible to replace the image on the screens with something else? And obviously, I wanted to replace the screens and the stuff that they had on the screens with Vic's face.
My giant head.
Yes, but the problem was that we didn't have the ready-to-go material of Vic at that point. We had like a reference material, test footage, this kind of stuff. So what I was thinking in my wise head was like, maybe we can just replace everything on the screens with like having a green background, and we can replace that material later. But obviously it didn't work out like in the way that I imagined, because if you have like a green actual glowing screen, like a monitor, if you are shooting it with a camera, it obviously doesn't look like a just plain green. Like it's
basically I was giving Panu really shitty versions of me standing in front of a green screen because there was a shadow behind me the whole time, because I didn't realize you're supposed to use different kind of lighting, because I don't know any of this shit. So so basically it took a bunch of back and forth. I finally figured it out how to not have a shadow behind me so that Pan could actually edit it properly, because otherwise I was getting the shadow behind me that was messing up all the editing and yeah. So it was on me. So
no, but this is different. This is different. Like, I mean, like on the actual set, like where we were shooting, we had like green glowing monitors.
Oh, yeah.
And when you are shooting the green monitors, big screens with a video camera, and then you look at the final results on a screen, you are going to see that the glowing screen that you just shot and thought that this is going to look like green, and it's easily to replace the footage there. It's not so easy. Like it's not going to be like a one color green. It's going to be really bright, like white even. And then you really have to start figuring out like other ways to replace the video in there. Like a really complicated stuff. I had to learn everything in the editing, post stuff, but in the end I made it work. Took
Well,
a
it's
lot
kind of
of
like what we're doing
hours.
right now. We're still learning how. We're just kind of
Yes.
going with emotions right now with this new app, and like I said though, the next one's going to be better. The next one's going to be better. The same thing goes with your music videos. And the next time Vic does a green screen, because he's becoming a bit of a floating head. Like for Ryan's video, the Graveyard Kings one, Vic was a floating head, and then we had like a for our podcast page, we had Vic on a TV, so he was like a floating head there too. So I was just thinking about some memes I could make where I could have Vic as the head from Zordon from Power Rangers, or the genie from Pee Wee Herman.
Oh, have me be that floating head from the that Sean Connery movie from the 80s or the late 70s where he's in like the. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like Zathura, I think.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
Zardoff or something like that. Oh, okay. Well, do yourself a favor. Look that up later. You won't be like.
Or the angry floating head in RoboCop 2 Kane when the screen comes out and it's his face looking all crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking about some memes to make. I was gonna try to have them ready by this time, but didn't happen because I don't know. I just didn't get around to it, and my ideas were a little ahead of my abilities, I guess you could say.
By the way,
yeah,
So the scene in the Big Bang Theory when Sheldon's rolling around on a TV and it's just his head and he's rolling around on a little remote-controlled TV. See, there you go, Vic. Anytime that we do a video, we just have to get a TV with a stand, and all it has to show is just this much. That's perfect. We can put a
By the
TV
way,
I'll get one of those.
and everything.
Yeah.
I just have to say, and Bear, this is your fault when you said something about RoboCop 2. My favorite scene probably is when they show the failed versions.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And this one is just like a screaming skull, like,
Yeah. Oh my god, I still remember seeing that as a kid in the drive-through. You know, I was probably way too young for it, but RoboCop 2. All right, so you said this was the location was where they paint cars.
Yeah. Or they actually like a study of kind of painting techniques and this kind of
stuff. So
stuff.
it was like a school?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, because I was like, yeah, that was a cool location. It wasn't like Ryan. You didn't film it in your living room with like a backdrop and scare the plumber.
No,
Like
so
I
yeah,
had
you were in a giant high ceiling paint booth essentially.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's this one scene where I'm actually just coming with my guitar case, and I wanted to do this kind of scene where in slow motion or something like this, I just slam the guitar case on some table or something, and there's a bunch of junk in there, and I could just swipe the whole, the table clean, and that would look like really dramatic. And we got to do that because there was so much like crap laying around there.
No,
like
very stylized.
empty
I like
painting
it.
cans and this kind of stuff.
So for those listening, if you want to see it, it's on the screen right here, but also I'll just say it for the audio listeners. It's Invasion of the Robots on YouTube under De La Rocka, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll see the final product there. Very well done. Like they mentioned too, when you're on a, as they say, shoestring budget, it forces you to get more creative. And going back on what Vic was saying about how when you have all the money in the world to film a movie, it just loses something. Like one example would be all the new Marvel movies. Everything that they have all the money to put all this like $200 million and everything, $300 million.
And the movies are really fucking boring nowadays.
And then it's like, what the fuck is this? Look at that Flash movie.
I mean, why do sequels generally suck? Because the original movie that everyone loved so much and had all that heart put into it, now it's got a blank check to go, hey, do that again. Good luck. Yeah.
Do it in, by next year. Do it by next year. We want to cash in on
this one example of a good sequel in a way that probably not everybody agrees is Gremlins 2 for me. Because actually the thing with the movie is that the director of the movie said no, like he's not going to do it. And then the studio said that they are going to do it anyway, like with you being the director or not. And then the director said like, oh shit, they are actually going to do something with the movie, The Gremlins. If I don't do it, somebody else will fuck it up. So then he agreed to do it, but in his own mind, he tried to mess it up, like basically sabotage it. But in the end, it was like perfect for me.
Yeah, it's great watching. It's funny because when that movie came out, of course, it was drastically different from the first one, but it still had its own character to it. But what makes it even, I mean, I was a little kid when that movie came out, and I didn't know anything about director issues or all that shit. I just thought it was entertaining. But watching it older and knowing the story behind it, it makes it even better.
Yes, exactly. And all the horror movie references and characters. You have Christopher Lee there. You have this kind of spiders, gargoyles. You have everything in there.
The smart one. The female one.
The smart one cracks me up every time.
Check it out one time, won't you? I can't remember the fucking line. Jesus Christ. The bat one. No, I love that movie. What was I going to say? Oh, man. I had something. I lost it, though, for that one. But go ahead, though. Yeah, Gremlins 2 was definitely one of my favorites. I don't... do I like it better than the first one? As a kid, you know what? I'm going to say I do. I think I like part 2 better than the first one.
You have you have Mowgli playing Rambo. You have Hulk Hogan.
Oh, that's
there.
what it was. It was the fucking, for me as a kid, the Hulk Hogan scene sealed it. Where Hulk Hogan makes a cameo, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I love this movie. Where the Gremlins are tearing up the film. Because I saw that in the theaters.
I hate watching Christmas movies any other time, but like the week of Christmas. Mm-hmm. And the first Gremlins takes place during Christmas. So the second one's a better go-to for me.
Yeah,
because it's not Christmas every other day of the year.
Actually, there is a connection with our theme in that movie, and that's the thing with the whole building. Like everything has to be like a future tech, like technology, this and this and this and everything.
Oh, that's right. Nothing worked in the building. Nothing works here.
Yes. Yeah. And for example, when they are, I think Billy was the main character, right?
Yes.
Billy and his girlfriend are
Phoebe Cates
doing the elevators. I mean, like
Phoebe Cates,
and you hear
Fast
this
time.
announcement saying that tonight's movie is Casablanca, now in colors and with a happy ending.
Yeah. No, that was great.
Yeah.
And I was rewatching the for Christmas the first one, which I still like, but I was like, wait a minute, so water, but there's snow everywhere. Isn't that water? Shouldn't it just be millions and millions and millions of them now? Because it's fucking out in the snow.
Damn it! I never thought of that. Damn it! Great, thanks for putting that in my head. I don't know why I never put the connection together, but yeah, damn it.
All right then. So since we're talking about movies, I'm just gonna ask you what you've seen recently and all that, but we'll probably save that for another time because we are in a time crunch and we want not even a time crunch. We want to do one more thing after this, but I want to talk about what's next for you guys. What do you have available right now? New projects, new tour, new album.
Vic, do you want to start or should I?
Dan, you go ahead and start.
Okay, sure. So basically, we started doing shows with my live band, like I told before, like the crew on the album and the live musicians, really great musicians. It's basically these are like two separate things mostly. So with my live band, we actually booked the whole spring and at least the start of the summer. Like we already closed booking for that time. We are doing a lot of shows here in Finland, some festival stuff also. So I'm really, really excited about that. And the next release is actually going to be a bigger release of this 7-inch, Out of This World. Obviously, this came out on streaming like a year ago, and we had like a very limited amount. Actually, you can see here, it's numbered 1 out of 26, and this was just what Bad Billy Records made for the Halloween show, just a couple of really rare ones. But the actual batch, larger number of these vinyls, is coming out.
If I can interrupt real quick while you're on the subject of Out of This World. So, that song was already out or I already was aware of that song and how awesome Thomas did singing it. So the bar was already set very high. So there was also that too. I had to keep in mind for doing Invasion because Thomas knocked that song out of the park.
Yeah. And also you have like interesting connections with Thomas. Also, Godless Wicked Creeps, Koffin Kats did We Are Rockers for the tribute album.
Yeah, what an awesome dude. And I just the band just recently got to enter into his diorama collection because he's incredibly talented with all those models.
That was really cool.
But
also we did when we had our first gig here in Finland, the Halloween show, we had Titch on the stage playing Beer, Blood and Rock and Roll with us, but we had Thomas Dax fly here all the way from Denmark. So we decided that it would be just a little bit strange to have him on stage for just 2 songs, like Out of This World and another one. So then we decided that, okay, let's do something more. And we actually rehearsed We Are Rockers and You Better Run. And we got to have like this really unique experience. We got to play those songs together with the original artist who wrote them. Like I don't know how many people in the world can say that.
No, it's a very cool thing.
Yeah. So anyways, talking about the releases, like I told you, this is coming out vinyl later this month. You can get it from my webpage, but also obviously on Bad Billy Records webpage. I don't know where can we put links somewhere later on or something like this. Bear, I can't hear you. You're muted.
I'll make sure that we on the episode description as well as the post that we have something lined up for that.
Oh yeah, great. And
you can just go to badbillyrecords.com or on the social media there'll be links.
It's It's badbillyrecords.bigcartel.com, and obviously I have my own webpage, which is delarocka.bigcartel.com, and I also have some other stuff there like discography and bio and lyrics and this kind of stuff, tour dates.
Okay. Very detailed. Very detailed.
Yes. So I like details. So anyways, those are some of the things that's coming out, and just a small update on the full album is that I'm working on the final 4 songs, and I'm really much aiming to get the full album released this year.
And Vic, what do you have coming up?
So this in a few days, actually, I'm going to be leaving for the West Coast tour that we have coming up. That goes from the 8th to the 25th of February and takes us everywhere from Phoenix, Arizona, Albuquerque, Denver, all the way up to the Northwest and then down into the Southwest. And so we have that going on. Sorry, my dog just got down here. Come on, Velma. Come on. Up. Sorry. All right. So get out of here. Sorry. So we have that. We have our West Coast tour coming up. We actually just finished up. We had a Texas run where we looped down to Texas and back to Detroit, and then we just finished up a Southeast run down into Florida and back, and now we're flying out west and doing a run. And then in March, we're actually co-touring with the Queers, which is awesome because they are a longtime favorite band of mine. So we're going to be doing a Northeast run, actually up through Canada and then down the Northeast in the States. And then back over to Detroit. So definitely looking forward to that one as well.
And you had a vinyl you pulled up earlier too?
Oh yeah. We so our second album, Inhumane, was never released on vinyl, and we finally had the funds together that we could put it out on vinyl. So we made 1,000 copies of Inhumane on let's see what we put it on. We put it on white vinyl. Yep. So. Yeah.
All right, cool. And then for those
by the way,
in LA,
I have it, and it's really beautiful, the white vinyl.
Oh, and it's 180 gram for all you vinyl nerds out there.
All right, Ryan. Ryan, what do you have going on for yourself?
Well, right now I'm mixing these Finnish guys that are consume my life and my sleep schedule, but
With all their details?
no, with all the details included.
They
No,
sound
no,
like nice people.
I'm
Do I
still
know
working
them?
on the De La Rocka album. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm
No,
much
no. It's
easier
funny because
to deal with.
Panu says left and right. Like he always tells me at the end of every revision, like, dude, I'm so sorry, I'm so picky, man. And I'm always like, so far you're like one of the most favorite people for me to work with. And every time he he gives me a giant paragraph of he's so sorry that he's so picky. I'm like, I like working with Panu, so no, I don't mind it. I've lost many hours of sleep working with him, but it's been so much fun, and I really
I
like
like
the
working with
music. Is
you.
the thing that I really like. It's
Panu,
like
just a
I'm
word of
glad.
advice. Just do what I do
Yeah,
when I send him
it's
something. On the mic, I'll be
Mhm.
like, cut that out, Ryan. Like on the recording, Ryan, cut that out. Just do that. That'll save you some time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then. So we're going to wrap this up. This is Beer with Bear with Vic, Panu, and Ryan. We'll just call you guys the Invasion Gang. Thank you very much for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Thanks
Invasion Gang
again.